this is Patrick and
Abigail.
And this is A&P Talk About, which I always forget to add in the beginning. And this is number 8, I think, that we're doing.
Not sure.
Yeah, that means something. That's quite amazing. So,
why? Because we have 8 planets?
Yeah, 8 planets. You'll see why. But, hey, what? You're in my bubble.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I just wanted her to create a space between us. She got it. Because today we're going to talk about space.
Yeah, we're going to talk about space! And if you know where that's from, I love you.
Oh, sweet. Okay, you know what? I haven't got a clue what that is, but obviously somebody out there probably does, and Abby just, sent out the love to them. So that's really good. You'll have to explain that somehow.
Don't worry, I will.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about space. And thought we would start by, why did you pick this topic?
Well, to tell you the truth, I both like and hate space.
Ooh, that's scary. Why?
I like space because of how mysterious it is and how cool it is and how awesome it is and just all that stuff. But at the same time, all that same stuff I'm scared of space.
Huh? Why are you scared of space?
I don't know. I have a lot of weird dreams about space, and that's part of the reason, but there's a whole bunch of creepy ways you can die up there. It's so big, and all the stars can look kind of creepy sometimes.
Ugh. So you mean space up?
Yep.
Like Star Wars, Star Trek?
Yep. That
space.
kind of space.
That kind of space. So not like the space between your ears?
No.
No? You're not afraid of that?
No.
I'm afraid of that. I have a weird mind.
I'm weird too.
Yeah. So the space between my ears, that is not a very good space. But mind you, well, I guess. Now, some people say, well, you're in kind of a weird space. So what does that mean?
I don't know.
You're in wherever your bubble or something like that, you feel weird.
It's called personal boundaries.
Oh, yeah. Like our bubble.
Yeah, our bubble.
Like you don't like to be touched.
I don't.
Yeah. So she wants to get married and have babies, but she doesn't want to be touched. Go figure. That means your space is really small, but you need to make it bigger. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it comes to space, what is really cool about it? Like the space up there.
Okay.
Yeah, that one up there.
Well, the way gravity works in space is pretty cool.
Yeah. Like
how the planets can suck in asteroids and other moons and stuff like that. And make them natural satellites.
Ooh.
And the way gravity can hold a bunch of gas together, and even though there's no solid ground to actually walk on.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm kind of scared of space, even though that part's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I always thought of this thing, when you get tossed, you see shows whatever, and you get tossed out into space or something like that. Now, I don't know the technical terms, and somebody could tell me, but I think because we're down here in gravity and pressure and all that, when you go up in space, there isn't that. So your all the pressures that keep your cells together, they all just go and you explode.
Ew.
Yeah, and I don't know if you literally explode or you explode inside, but I heard about things like that. Also, I think it's darn cold up there. Now, I was going to look it up. I didn't figure out how cold it was, but I think I'm betting it's I don't know if it's absolute zero, but it probably that kind of cold, it's really cold.
Yeah.
So if you get chucked into space, you've got no air, your molecules explode, or your cells or something like that, plus you freeze to death, and of course choke to death because you have no air, and space is a lonely place. And so, yeah, so you'll die of loneliness if you don't die from the other 3. So, yeah, that's not a good thing. So, but then you say you like this.
I don't know. That's part of the reason I'm so scared of it.
Do you like meteors?
I'm also kind of scared of meteors, too.
What's your favorite planet?
I like Earth. I like Saturn. And even though it's technically not a planet anymore, I still kind of like Pluto.
It's kind of funny when you mention that people say they like Pluto because Disney invented that planet, or because or somebody likes Mars because Mars Attacks, which is a great movie, by the way. I like that movie. And some people like the sun, or they like asteroids, or they like the Great Head Horse Nebula, or something like that.
Yeah, that's a famous nebula.
But nobody ever says Earth. That's actually a pretty good one, because theoretically we couldn't survive on any of the other ones.
Yeah.
So Earth should be our favorite, because otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earth
yeah.
really is an amazing place. I could go into great detail, but I can't really think of anything at the moment. I would make this video really long.
Yeah. So if you wanted to go into space, where would you go?
Probably
Where no man has gone before?
if I went there, if I went where no man has gone before, I'd go to Mars. Because
Really?
no one's really ever been there. Only satellites and
Now, some
rovers
people
have-
say that Martians have visited us, so theoretically we haven't been there, but they've been here. So what does that mean? Like Area 51. It's got a connection to space, you know.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, you'd like to go to Mars, eh? Yeah, see, for me, I don't know. I'd like to go float around right by Saturn's rings. I think that would be interesting.
To tell you the truth, they're miles wide, but thinner than a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I know. That's amazing, isn't it?
But I'd still like to see them, especially if they really were like that color or something like that. I'd like to, if it was like as thin as paper, I'd like to stick my hand through it. And watch some guy on Earth seeing this. Because he wouldn't see me because I'd be too small, right? But he'd all of a sudden seeing this like separation in another ring because my hand's in the middle, you know, running it around and be like, sorry. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind going to Jupiter or something like that just to go. I guess you couldn't go into the atmosphere because it's too crushing or something like that. So anyways, I just thought we could talk about space, like the up there space, but then there's the space between here space. But what about inner space?
What's inner space?
Well, you know, something I'm not exactly sure what it is, but my impression is it's like dimensions. You know, like you ever seen that that show with sliders, where you went from one dimension to another? It's kind of like an inner space thing. Or what about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and they went inside the body? Isn't that kind of like an inner space thing?
Well, in video games, they kind of call those kinds of levels inner body.
Inner body? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different
the
space.
organs and the tissues and the nerves and all the weird parasites and immune systems that are in there.
Yeah.
And blood cells.
Maybe I wouldn't want to go in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, you know, we spend a lot of time making sure that those things aren't in there, but in the end, they probably are. But, like, So inner space, I mean, I don't know what you guys think of that, but it kind of reminds me of, do you think that you have like an evil twin in another dimension?
Like a doppelganger?
Sure.
Well, some people have there's been a few documented cases, not really documented, but they're out there on the internet and TV, that people have actually come into contact, or almost come into contact with doppelgangers on Earth.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
It's actually considered very bad luck.
Yes, I can imagine.
If both of you come into contact with each other, I think you both die.
Ugh. Oh, that'd be even worse. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got one other interesting topic that might have.
Okay.
What is your favorite space movie?
That's a good topic. Well,
you think about it. For me, personally, I mean, I've got some favorites. I mean, I think Star Wars is great. I like that. But I also like The Day the Earth Stood Still. I think that's a good space movie. Or Mars Attacks is kind of corny, but I think it's hilarious, more or less. There's been some other ones that I've seen over the years. You know, those B grade movies, whatever. That some space ones, like the 50-woman from Mars or something like that. Like
51-foot tall woman, like an alien woman that attacks.
Yeah.
She's big in the posters.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aliens is probably the scariest one I've ever seen.
There's not much action in it, though. It does have some legitimate creepy moments, like the chestburster scene, the infamous chestburster scene. But otherwise than that, it's not really action-packed like some scary movies are.
There was that one movie, I don't remember the name of it now. The one where the alien vampire woman that came, ended up on a spaceship, and she came down to Earth, and she bit the people, and they turned into zombies.
What?
Oh yeah, I'll have to show it to you. I saw it, and it was like this great movie. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was so exciting. We thought, oh, this is going to be great. We went and saw it. It wasn't that good, and but yeah, there was that too. I love like TV, like X-Files, which kind of got to do with space.
Yeah.
Well, some of it was inner space and outer space.
Yeah.
In some ways, but so I mean, you have time to think about it now. What was your favorite movie then? You figured?
I kind of like Star Wars and Star Trek, but I
Okay.
like Star Wars a bit more than Star Trek.
Yes.
But as for like scary space
Yeah.
movies, I haven't really watched the other Aliens, but I have watched Alien vs Predator, and that was kind of good.
Yes.
I haven't watched the second
really-
one though.
What?
I haven't watched the second one though, like he has.
Ugh.
He says it was gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, one of my other ones I really liked was Battlestar Galactica. It was more of a sequel. But I love those Cylons with the red eye, and you haven't seen that. And they had the little dog. They called him a Daggett. They didn't call him a dog, and he was a machine.
Cool.
Yeah. But I like that. I like Lost in Space. Oh, I used to watch this comedy show called My Favorite Martian. It was hilarious. But a guy that came down and he got stuck here because his machine wouldn't work. It was a comedy. But he ended up staying, and they called him Uncle Martin. Uncle Martian.
He's nice.
So, and Alf, he was a Martian.
Yep, he was.
Yeah. So we have lots to do with like space in particular. Is there a particular space on Earth that you like?
Nothing real. It's my personal boundaries, of course, because I don't like when
Yeah.
people reach them.
And she does too, I can tell you that. But because I like spaces like, well, the Grand Canyon was a big open space.
Yes, it's huge.
I like that. Oh, and Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
It's not really a space, but it's so weird. But they had like Close Encounters of the Third Time. The movie was
Yep.
based on that mountain, so that's got to do with space too.
Kind of.
Yeah, and I liked. I'd like to see like roaming fields. Like when you drive to Saskatchewan in Canada, you can see open space forever.
Yes.
You could
Yes.
actually. It's so wide that if you could see something for like ever. I remember we were driving there once and we saw this like fire thing from an oil gas thing, and I'm like, oh, we're almost there. And like 2 hours later, it's still
Wow.
closer. Like that
must be pretty far away and really wide open then.
it is. It's totally. So there's different kinds of spaces that way, I think. And of course, there's like the space cadet, which we call like the weird people. Like they're
Yeah.
spaced out, right, man? Like they're on
Yeah.
drugs or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of spaces. And there was this actually, like you ever watch like Mad Magazine? He that guy, Alfred E. Newman, or whatever, he had a space between his teeth.
Yes, people do. It's called
Yeah.
a gap.
I call it a gap.
Yeah. Not sure if I have one.
Do I have one? I don't know. See, I always call those people like Bucky. Hey, Bucky, bucktooth people, which isn't very nice. But then again, if you have a space between your tooth, that's what you get.
Yeah.
So, well, anyways, I just thought we'd have a little gab about space today and just talked about it a little bit. And so our next episode.
Which is coming out very soon, actually.
Yes, actually very soon, like shortly,
Yeah.
is going to be our Christmas special.
Yay!
So, yeah. So if you actually aren't completely spaced out and sick of this particular episode, you might want to watch it. So
Yeah.
until next time, this is Pat saying peace.
Peace off.
Yeah, and happy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy.